Hello, comic book fans, and welcome to the longest-running intercompany comic book crossover of all time, the Elseworlds Exchange. I'm Sal.
And I'm Joel. Hell yeah.
Damn right. Exactly. It's two comic brands that are separate, but they come together to make this thing possible, like every comic book brand should, because it's just money on the table.
Yeah.
You know, Joel and I could be doing our own things, and we do, but there's this other thing right here.
We're the peanut butter and chocolate of comic book YouTube.
Damn right. Damn right. Today, we're going to be diving in to some of the best multiversal bat suits of all time, and hopefully by the end, we'll be able to distill it all down to one. I doubt we're going to do that, but my plan is to take this list, make a poll out of it, and then you go over to either our Patreon at patreon.com/ComicPop, or you can go over to our community page at ComicPop Returns, where this channel is stationed, where the show is stationed, and you can vote. And then we'll make a show that'll be a part 2 of this show, and we'll show you who won, according to you, the viewers out there.
It's a tournament of champions, if you will.
Exactly. And I don't want to hear about which one is cooler, which one is darker, which one's your favorite. No. Just suits. We're just talking about the suits. Just talking about the aesthetic. And I promise you, we're going to look at them during today's episode. We're going to show you imagery, evidence that supports how cool or not so cool these suits are. Before we jump into it, we want to remind you, number one, this show is sponsored by you. If you want to contribute to today's show, use the super chat, ask a question or comment. We'll do it here on the show. 2, this is our supplemental channel where we do live shows like our comic book review show Off the Rack, which you can find with me and my wife Tiffany on Monday evenings, where we talk about the books that are coming out this week that we think you should pick up. Also, we have our main channel, which houses our show back issues. That channel is almost at 100,000 subscribers. If you want to help and you haven't already subscribed, first of all, ComicPop Returns is almost at 14,000. Please join us there. Number 2, jump over to youtube.com/ComicPop. Number 3, you like really, really short form comment? Like the shortest of comment? or of content, I should say? Well, in the chat right now is a link to our shorts channel. I did it. I broke.
You bit the bullet.
Well, we keep making this stuff over at TikTok, and I'm like, but our home is YouTube. And if YouTube is going to push their TikTok competition as much as you would expect YouTube to do, because like they've reached the top and they keep thinking that every year they have to make more money, then why not at least lean into it a little bit? I got all this TikTok content. Here it is over at Comic Pop Shorts. Check that out in the chat or on every Comic Pop branded YouTube channel page. You'll find a link to it at the bottom.
Nice.
Anyway, let's jump into it. Multiversal bat suits. Joel, let me ask you a question to broach this topic. I remember reading Wizards, but more importantly, looking at a book, which I foolishly didn't bring to this show today. I have it literally, it's like 8 feet over there. I'm not going to get it. It's a book that kind of chronicles Batman and his impact on history and culture, and more importantly, comics. And one of the things that I noticed was it showed you all these different bat suits. You just see them every once in a while. They just show them to you like it was nothing.
Yeah. You know what these are, right, kids?
And it would just blow my mind. Are there any that broke from the traditional form? One of your first, like, that's not Batman, but I think I like it anyway.
That's an excellent question. It would probably be something from the cartoon, right? If I had to guess, because, that like lives in my brain and takes up so much real estate, really codified and solidified my fandom. Maybe like Justice Lord's Batman, where it's like, that's great.
Yeah, yes. The Justice Lord's bat suit is very reminiscent of another bat suit that I think we should talk a little bit about. It's a multiversal Batman. It's a Batman from another universe. And I think everybody loves this one, which is why I'm happy to mention it. Batman Beyond.
Yes. I don't think this suit gets enough credit for how they knocked that one out of the park in one. Right? And never really needed to redo it or reimagine. I think they might have been the New 52, because the New 52.
Oh, yeah. No, New 52, which, by the way, is its own universe, so it does count. So we're going to get into that.
True enough.
The Batman Beyond suit. Perfect silhouette. It's got the Bruce Timm style because, of course, Bruce Timm designed it. So it's got that sleekness. It's got that simplicity. But unlike Bruce Timm applying his style to, like, the traditional Batman, pantheon, this was something wholly original that also contributes directly to the character. The suit's supposed to be simple. It's supposed to be shadowy and monochromatic. and sleek, even down to the belt, which is just like lines in the suit. It doesn't look like it's three-dimensional, which I kind of dig.
It's a masterclass in simplicity, and also it has a lot of red in it, which I think that is a common theme across all multiversal bat suits. Whenever Batman starts incorporating more red into his costumes, or colors outside the normal black, gray, blue, sometimes yellow, you're in an alternate universe.
Totally. Although it's funny, it took me a long time to get to this, but I do know that a lot of these guys, these older folks who worked on the Batman mythos back in like the 90s, they loved the live action 66 TV show.
Right.
And one of the things that I think influenced them the most was the car. And the Batmobile from 66 had that splash of red in it.
I guess it did. Yeah, I suppose it did. And you rarely saw it anywhere else. Yeah, well scouted.
Yeah. And that's why I think that it's incorporated in the Batman Beyond suit and in another suit, which we'll get into later. But just wanted to throw this up there. This is the Justice Lord's bat suit that Joel's talking about. Worthy contender. It's also, I kind of dig it because, number one, obviously inspired by the Batman Beyond suit.
Yes. Yeah, right? Where it's like, we'll get there eventually. The little pauldrons on the side there are much more pronounced. And again, this big splash of gray and the logo that looks more like the Beyond logo. Again, what's that word there? Uncanny Valley. It's got a bit of that where it's like, it's Batman, but there's something wrong with it, though.
Right, exactly. It's almost like this was a dark suit that Batman put away. Like he was like, maybe one day I'll incorporate this, because it's clearly like a proto Batman Beyond suit. I mean, it's even got the like negative space belt that Terry gets later. But you'll notice also no color. It's just metal and black.
And thematically, it's interesting, too, because the Justice Lords all start incorporating more white into their suits, because the idea being, oh, we've saved the world. We've gone up a whole shade, where Batman's like, no, but not me, though. I am forever the outlier. Even, what my sometimes yellow logo is now gray, so I'm just even more less color.
Exactly. I like that idea that Batman kind of gets darker as the Justice League becomes what they perceive to be like. They're putting on a brave face. They're being like, we're more we're in a brighter day. And Batman's like, no, like he's a true reflection of what's actually going on.
That's called visual storytelling.
Yeah, showing, not telling. So let's jump into a couple of super chats before we move on to the next one. But Brian Rowland says, can't watch live, but the original Batman Beyond suit will always be my favorite. Can't argue with that. It was one of those things. I remember when it came on the scene, I was like, what? But just I always liked it.
Yeah, it took me a second to accept it too. Honestly, I was much like the Joker in Batman Beyond. The ears are a little too long, and I missed the cape.
Right. I love that scene. That's such a great interaction. I love that. But yeah, costume's a bit theatrical. But hey, who am I to talk? Danny Ollie had a super sticker, which is adorable. I got to take a look at it over on the YouTube page, because I can't look at it through StreamYard, but I did see it. Thank you very much, Danny, for your support and for that fun addition to the conversation. Ryan Craig, as a kid, I thought DC 1 million suit was awesome. As an adult, I recognize how 90s it is, but it still feels like an action figure I would have wanted. Speaking of, it's... we like to blame Marvel for like the action figurification of
toyeticness.
The toyeticness, yeah. Even going so far as to talk about that as a phrase itself. But DC was no stranger to like
of course not.
Making toy adaptations of things that maybe almost shouldn't exist, if only to be a prototype for a toy. And
the practice is alive and well today. You see that new Queen Goblin, all I can think is like, man, that's going to be a great Marvel Legends figure one day.
Right? What's funny? I saw that, and it was like, and it reminded me immediately of the of the Null figure that took forever to come out. It took his death for people to finally get that damn figure out there. But bringing it back to Batman reminded me of the Total Justice action figure line, where they were like, they were getting into like the McFarlane territory of like, these are statues, but also figures. But at least McFarlane's had like elbow joints. The Total Justices were just like these frozen in time. Then they made a comic book called Total Justice.
I remember that.
Sold the damn figures. By the way, Ryan's talking about the DC 1 million Batman. There he is. Yes, it is.
Shoulder pad city.
Right. It's okay. So I'm not wild about this, but only because I think I would have been as a kid, because it's like it's got the full black. No underwear. It's still got the splashy yellow, which I always enjoy.
Always.
And it's that thing that people do when they don't know what else to do with Batman, where they just close the mouth portion.
They cover up the mouth, which is funny because it's like, Batman, he's always putting himself out there. There's always a little bit of his humanity on display in the suit. So it always feels, again, uncanny valley and wrong when you lose it. It's interesting that this is something that Jace Fox would take up in the modern day as part of a bigger story of hiding one's identity. Batman can be anyone, that whole sort of thing.
Exactly. But then there's this thing over his shoulders, this clearly separate piece. Like, it's at the end of the day, and this is one of the things I wanted to mention about this kind of topic, was if it's a little too close to just being a bat suit, it almost doesn't qualify, because this is just a Batman suit, but you cover the cowl and he puts this plastic thing over his shoulders.
It's a Batman suit with extra steps.
Exactly. It's just Batman with extra steps. A million. Apropos of the adding splashes of red, that immediately made me think of this amazing suit that Alex Ross designed, that he said was inspired entirely by the 66 Batmobile.
Right.
Basically, the Batman becomes a car, and that's from Justice.
Oh, yes. How can we forget that? Even the logo is the 60s logo.
Yeah, but incorporated into this, and maybe it's because he basically is a car as a man. He's a Autobot for all intents and purposes. I love it. I'm okay with it. In fact, I'd go so far as to say it's one of my favorites.
I mean, heck, they got that new Batman Batmobile animated series coming out that's just all about the cars. So maybe this one was ahead of its time and ahead of the curve.
I think so. Charzy says, the Batman Imposter suit was an interesting look. I heard from my comic book realtor it's a prequel suit to the new movie. What do you think? I think yes. I think that the Imposter is made by the same people who made the movie.
I can see the similarities.
I think Jock's drawing that, right? Or
yes, he is. I didn't pick up the first issue out of protest because I'm like, there's too much Batman. But then my other co-host told me it's not really about Batman. It's about like a crusading cop, and there's a whole other thing. Batman's like a background guy. I'm like, okay, that actually sounds like something I enjoy because I like good crime fiction.
That sounds like somebody stole the Todd McFarlane playbook of, I'm making a thing about the character you want to see, but you're never going to see the character you want to see. By the way, if you want to know what Charzy's talking about, this is the Batman Imposter suit, which is, here's the thing.
I can see the hockey pads.
The logo, like the emblem, there's no way a movie would do that.
No.
Like, it's too pronounced. It's too clean. I love it, by the way. It works perfectly for comics. I'm 100% on board for it. But yeah, you can see his hockey pads. It's basically just a Batman Begins suit. So, but it is technically a comic book, and therefore qualifies as part of the multiverse. Getting back, Adam Thenhaw says, Kal-El's Speeding Bullets batsuit is basic, but a sick or slick reimagining. Yes, Speeding Bullets was one of those things where I was like, does that count? Because it's technically Superman?
Yeah, wearing a Batman suit. Because once we get into everyone else who's worn a Batman suit, must we include Dick Grayson's suit and, Batman 666 when it's Damian?
Right. I am calling it a bat suit. So I guess it would consider, do we also consider like Two-Face's bat suit and Bane's bat suit and other stuff like that? And I guess I'll have to think about that a little longer.
Which Bane suit? He's had a couple, actually.
That's true. But basically, when you look at this, it's just basically Batman. But again, close the mouth, and he's got some like ribbing.
It's gothier too. The cape is a lot more like leathery, like a bat's wing.
Yes. And as you get into the Elseworlds, especially early Elseworlds, for some reason they could not help themselves but like really incorporate the leather into the suit. By the way, I should mention, what's that?
I said it's a good look. I appreciate I love it. Of leather.
But when you keep it's funny when you see it over and over again, you're like, okay, this is
loses
its Gaslight again. I should also mention that apropos of the Speeding Bullets suit, you couldn't see it in the picture I showed you, but like, this is an incorporation of the Superman emblem. It's the shape, but they put the bat in there to like sell you the Superman look.
Cool visual.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. It's a neat idea. I dig it. And I think technically qualifies. So I'm going to mention this now. I don't think we're going to talk about the dark multiverse today.
That's kind of got to be its own thing because there's so many. Every other dark multiverse is a Batman story, and there's a new costume for all of them.
Exactly, and they and every artist like loves to go out of their way to like go for broke, go ham on that suit. Back in the day, they were like, I don't know, I don't want to confuse the reader by going too far off, unless you count things like. I'm trying to think of like Robin 3000, where it's like, what are you even doing? It's not even about Batman, but like that suit is just, you don't even really get a good look at it. All you do get is he has a cybernetic eye.
Because it's the future.
Yeah, but it's like
you have when you're
the
in the
year
future.
3000, it's the same suit, but a cybernetic eye.
Maybe he lost it in an accident. Maybe he poked it out.
Right. I mean, easily he poked it out. That does not count. Robin 3000 is not one of the best bat suits in the multiverse. No. It is a bat suit in the multiverse, but I would say I don't even want to talk about it.
They phoned that one in.
Exactly. Joshua Vaughn says Kingdom Come bat suit and retro Batmobile bat sentries. Yes. I mean, the Kingdom Come bat suit is like, it's one of those figures that I always want to own. And it's one of those suits that like, it's so cool, but I wish, I don't know, like, there's something about it that makes me think like, this is really cool. I wish it were a little cleaner. I wish it were a little less like bulky, but the fact that it's basically like a walking hospital chair suggests that like, that's actually really cool. And I like that idea. Like
story took precedent on that one.
Exactly. Sure. Which I really appreciate. Like they weren't like, oh, make it look cool and have it not like work thematically for the story, but
it's a medical device.
Yeah, it's a medical device. And of course, like if you ever read interviews or behind the scenes discussions, the cowl casing is the Darth Vader helmet. Like the bottom portion.
Yeah, I see it now.
Which is a fun design and integration as well.
I like this one actually reminds me of a lot. Xanatos gargoyle suit from Gargoyles.
Yes. Oh, that actually reminded me more of the Bat-Mech suit that he busts out in like one episode of Batman Beyond.
Oh yes, that's right. Yeah,
he's got to fight Ink and save Terry, and I'm like, holy crap! And they did this like techno remix version of the original theme, and I'm like, yeah. And
that's also pretty strong. Yeah, that's a good pull. Yeah.
But this is cool. It gives you that integration of like 90s mech obsession. I mean that the cape is not a cape. It's like clearly it folds.
Yeah.
It's mechanical. It comes out and actually practically makes him fly. Dope suit. I think it definitely qualifies. One of the best bat suits in the multiverse. Our pal Chris over at Comic Tropes wanted us to talk about this one. And that was the 0 year suit.
Yes, I feel like more people forget about this one, that he had this for a long time there in that 0 year arc. We brought the gloves back. We made them kind of purplish again. And it's kind of like, survivalist backwoods Batman.
Right. Well, I love it because, there's the 0 year suit, which is basically just the Detective 27 suit.
Yeah.
With the purple gloves. And then 0 year happens and he gets like through the shit, and so he keeps the gloves, but he's got to take off the shoulder. He's got to take off the sleeves, show off his guns, because that's the only guns Batman uses. And it's basically just like tactical gear Batman.
It's Road Warrior Batman.
It's Road Warrior Batman, which is fun, and I like it. I dig it. And like he said, like Chris mentioned, it's not one of the best, but he does like it, and he thinks it's underappreciated, and I agree. I think is it a figure yet? I know that there's a
I'm
0.
Sure it must be. Everything from Snyder's run became figures, didn't it?
Not yet. But we're getting there. But I like this. I like the suit. But of course, the suit's nothing without the bike.
Yeah. The bike really sells it.
You got to have that bike in there. Apropos of calling out people, Tom King wanted me to mention this one, which was which I don't think we've even actually seen in the run yet. But since Batcat technically, you heard it here first. Tom King says Batcat is in the multiverse because, and not necessarily in continuity, because he submitted the Clayman redesign of the Batsuit. And I'm breaking my rule of like it basically just being the Batsuit, because it is a departure when you actually start to look at it.
Yeah. There's a lot more solidness going on. He's got the tactical thing on his left leg, and the blue of the eyes. That's an interesting touch.
Right? The cape becomes, I'm sure it's interpretive. Like, I'm sure it is a cape, but it also could be something more, I don't know, tactical. You also notice that the gloves go all the way up to the armpits.
Yeah.
Interesting. That's pretty much all we get out of it. I mean, like, and there's a shadow. I'm not sure if it's underwear on the outside. I assume it is just to break up the color, but he could get away with it.
Again, gloves that go all the way up to the armpit. What is he, an old school burlesque dancer now? Is he gonna take them off and do a big reveal?
Maybe for Catwoman after the battle's over. Also, you could see, like, you know how normally Batman has those like 3 kind of gauntlet spikes.
Yeah.
On this one, he has like 7 or 8 of them all over.
Yeah. You can see them in the shadow. Huh.
Yeah, interesting. Neat idea. Also, I like the interpretive bat logo on the front. Also, the belt is a lot more like armory surplus,
very
tactical, which is fun. But
also, I'm assuming too, with the little pack he's got on his leg, that I'm can only imagine he keeps his grapple hook in that one. Is that like more tactical?
It could be. I mean, the grapple always goes. I always thought that the grapple is like it's just attached to the belt behind him.
Yeah,
like between his ass and the cape.
Space.
Yeah. But yeah, I guess he could put it in there. I mean, like, here's the thing. It's one of the first times we see Batman with like one of those leg pouches. Who knows what's in there, but we do know that they want you to notice it.
Which, again, I'm imagining, given King's background and everything, maybe that's like a little bugbear for him. It's like, no, he would need something like this to keep important stuff, and he would lose it any other way.
Exactly. Ollie Davis wanted me to mention this one, and it's I don't know. I mean, it is technically in the multiverse because it happened, but he mentions, I have such a soft spot for Gordon's Bat-Mech. The rookie suit was so different, and I loved it. I'm in the minority, but I wanted to come back somehow. Let me tell you something, dude. It comes back more often than you think.
It kind of does, doesn't it? There in that like Secret Six story, it came back. In the end of that Tomasi story, freaking Two-Face got into it for a minute.
He busted out in the Batman Superman run by Williamson.
That's right, for a minute.
Yep. So that suit does rear its head. I think more people quietly liked this than people thought.
True. I keep waiting for Gordon to pull it out in that Joker book.
Oh my God. There's no way he won't, right? There's no way he won't.
And also, too, that was technically 2 costumes in one, because there was the Bat-Mech, and then there was Gordon's Batman suit that he wore when he was out of it. And I think that suit's really solid, too. No cape. No cape, but a much bigger design, much more kind of like not quite military, but a lot more like futuristic. Like, this is the bat suit we'll wear in the future.
Exactly. It's a little, it was, I felt like it was an easy choose, but I did like it, especially back then when you compared it to the bunny suit.
Yeah.
But I mean, he does get the yellow, but it's just black from the tip of the ear to the toe of the foot.
Splash of yellow, and he's got a leg holster.
He's got the leg holster too. What the hell is going on here?
Oh my God. Which again made sense, because that's where Gordon kept his Batarang firing gun. Because he's like, oh, I'm an old man. I can't throw ninja style, but I can shoot really good.
Damn right. Yeah, exactly. I'm trained in that regard.
It's a holdover from his years as a cop. So again, visual storytelling, which I'm a fan of.
Right. Yeah. Show don't tell. That's the key. Chris Zalewski says, "Hi guys, I've been watching you guys for more than 5 years.
Hey.
Thank you very much. Welcome to thank you so much for being part of the team here, man. Want to give you some love. You're both awesome. Keep it up. Well, thank you very much. So are you. Favorite Batman suit is Long Halloween. I love how the cape drapes around him like it's alive. Yes, I mean it's basically just the bat suit. It's just the bat suit, but like Tim Sale's going for it
through the artistic lens of, an auteur artist who has some really cool ideas in cape theory.
Yes, exactly. I do love that look, and so it's a worthy contender. But I think it's just basically the bat suit. I'm also not going to mention like Kelly Jones's Batman's for the most part, because it's like, I mean, it's basically just Batman, but Kelly Jonesing it up.
Yeah.
Mina Qwerty says, big fan of Paul Pope's Batman Year 100 suit. It's so basic and dressed down, yet in the story, he's at his most mysterious, and the fake fangs. I love it. Yeah, no, it's that one's one of those things where I'm like, it's basically Batman, but like, yeah, when you look closer, you see how like dressed down and simple and like in the mud it is, how like it's basically just off the rack.
It's grungy and gross in a way bat suits aren't normally shown. Batman's usually quite clean and put together, isn't he?
Exactly. So excellent suggestion and contribution to the conversation. Let's go down to some Elseworlds, huh?
Yes.
Some old classic Elseworlds, because like, let me tell you something. They've been messing with the bat look for a long time. I'm going to mention, let's see. I know that because I wanted to mention, oh, that's right. It's not really in there. So I'm going to go with Batman the Demon, A Tragedy. This one was a book where basically, instead of Jason Blood being the demon Etrigan, it's Batman.
Right.
And so as a result, because it's Batman, he just integrates the look into the demon itself.
Oh, fun.
So as you can see, I mean, like, the image of Etrigan is there. His main focus is Killer Croc in this book, as I recall. Right. But yeah, like, you see the ears and the cape, and Etrigan has a cape. He has the kind of like demonic look, but like with Batman in there, it's basically just, I mean, it's Simon Bisley going for broke. But it's one of those things where I'm like, oh, that's neat to see. It's a crazy bat suit, but is it a suit? It's the guy's body.
Yeah. the horns are a little bit more extended. Obviously, you know, Etrigan has horns, but they don't quite look like that. They're closer to devil horns.
Yep. Well, because of Bruce Wayne's like
influence,
it's Batman.
And he's got the spikes on the side too. He's got like the gauntlets, which Etrigan doesn't have.
That's right. So it's a fun suit. I kind of like it. I just thought it was a worthy mention because it was like a neat idea.
It's a deep pull.
Obviously, you know, from Red Rain, from Batman Dracula, from all of the stories that Kelly Jones helped contribute, there's Batman as a vampire / vampire hunter.
It's maximum ear length.
Yeah. That's the Kelly Jones look. It's just a bat suit, but he has spikes. And as he gets more as he gets more Dracula out, it's just a vampire in a Batman costume.
Yeah.
Not really much to write home about outside of the fact that you're like looking at Kelly Jones going nuts on a bat suit, which is pretty fun. Patrick Lawson mentions, I'm in 10 minutes in the past, but I just want to support you two great minds. Well, thank you very much, Patrick, and welcome to the future. L Sky 670, hot take. I really like the Rebirth purple cape suit. With the right artist, it looks great. Also love the White Knight costume. I think Rebirth's suit, I still don't really care for it nearly as much as most people, but I also don't consider it in the multiverse. That's just a version he wore.
That was canon.
I'm going with like alternate Batman suits, but that's why I was like resident to mention like the Gordon suit, but it is a new Batman suit. It is in the multiverse, so whatever.
I appreciate whenever they can work in purple or any other splashes of color where they can find it.
Totally. And apropos of a White Knight suit, that my friend is in the multiverse, and it is a very different design, and it is, of course, Sean Gordon Murphy's like influence from you know, being a gearhead and being a motorcycle aficionado. Like, all of that is in there. I imagine, like, based on the like ribbing on the bat logo, the emblem on his chest, that it's made of some kind of like tire or leather, that it's like,
you know, because you got to keep it strong and, you know, road rash resistant, because Batman's going to get thrown around a lot,
especially on every car or bike that Murphy's going to make sure he drives or rides. This is also one of those things where it's like the cowl is very separate from the cape is very separate from the cowl.
Yeah, the cape is like a pop collar, which I kind of enjoy in a way that I didn't think I would.
Right, like I wouldn't like it in any other iteration, but I do kind of dig it here. The boots go all the way up to the thigh. They're thigh-high boots.
Yeah.
And the belt, as I recall, is also very subdued in color. I think it is supposed to be yellow, but it's like a very muted kind of yellow.
And again, it's more visual storytelling because you got an artist writer here being like, hey, this is a different Batman for a different world. It's a lot like how you imagine, but some stuff doesn't quite add up, and some stuff kind of steals the eye.
Right? His little driving gloves.
Yeah, he had the little driving gloves. I've never really noticed that before. Holy shit, he does.
Yeah. In another world, Batman could like, or if he were... I don't want to spoil this series, but like, let's just say that if Batman were suspected of being Bruce Wayne, you could imagine he could take the helmet off and the cape, maybe throw on a coat, and you wouldn't suspect he's Batman.
Yeah, I'm just walking around, man. Just regular old Bruce Wayne.
Yeah. Nicholas Kruger, I love the weirdness of the first Owlman costume. I agree with that, man. Owlman's a fun design and a fun character. Every time I see Owlman, I'm like, that's a fun idea. I really dig that. Martin Sorensen says, Batman White Knight, the added collar, longer boots, and short ears really does it for me. you're not the only one, man. There's action figures dedicated to how cool that is. And it's great.
There's small changes that make all the big difference. Also in that series too, we get a different Azrael Batman costume.
Oh my God, which is so cool.
Yes, it is.
No, that's right. That's right. Holy crap. You know what? I'm going to look at it. I want to just pull that one up.
It's a big, scary robot.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, it's really cool. And it's one of those, like, I didn't mention the Azrael suit from the main continuity again, because it's like technically canon, but I loved that suit. And you could tell Murphy loves it too. Because of how much loving contribution he makes to like preserving what he thought worked, and getting rid of or changing what didn't. But like pretty much everything you remember of that suit is still in there. Like you got the gold, you got the leg, like you got the leg spikies, you got the gauntlets are exactly the same. No changes there.
He's got a sword.
He's got the sword. It's on fire. Now that Batman did not have a flaming sword, but like we'll forgive it. He did when he was Azrael, but not when he was Batman, I don't think. But this one obviously does. Great suit. There's a great homage to Batman 500, which is just an amazing image that he does in White Knight or Curse of the White Knight. Both are perfection. So yes, dope ass suit. Chris Zalewski. I didn't realize it was suits outside the classic ones. In that case, I love the Hellbat suit.
Oh yeah, Hellbat doesn't get nearly as much love as it should be. Yeah, it's a cool design. I like it. Batman only brings it out on special occasions, and hey, it even gets love in the Harley Quinn animated series. They pull out the Hellbat armor.
Yes. Not only that, you also have a terrific looking McFarlane figure. He doesn't stand up, but like it's a great figure that looks exactly like the comic. Tomasi did an amazing job with this suit. And I love it.
More splashes of red.
More red, yeah. When in doubt, go black and red. Even the belt. Like they keep the belt and make it red. Neat. Cool. Again, like one of those hallmarks of like, if it's the best, it must be just cool. Charzy, Lee Bermejo's suits are a great reimagining of what the classic suit would look like in real life. I also want to say you guys got me back into comics and to make my own DC Universe set in the 80s. Nice. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, Bermejo really goes ham on that one as well, you know, where all the textures feel like they could be real material and everything, and this is how the mask would sit on a person's face and everything. That's basically the appeal of all of those stories, you know, Noel and Joker and everything. It's like, hey,
Damned as well.
Damned, yeah. It's like let's make a meal out of all of this.
Yeah, no, it is. It's one of those things where I don't know. For me, I love it. It's also kind of like scary to me because I'm like, he looks vulnerable, like he looks real, and it like kind of demystifies his Batman.
It's a hyper realism almost.
Yeah, especially the mask. Like the mask is just like that is a mask that lives in real life that you could wear, and makes him a little less mythic for me.
You can see the inspiration too and the impact that this has had on that new Robert Pattinson movie in a lot of ways too.
Totally. There's no way that they did not draw inspiration from this. And why wouldn't you? Because if you're trying to make Batman look real, maybe use a real looking bat suit. It's probably going to be easier to translate.
Yeah, this guy did all the hard legwork for you.
Exactly. Peter Tennant, best bat suit is No Man's Land. Maybe 3 Jokers incorporated. My bat suit, dark midnight blue gloves, boots, cape, cowl, gloves, dark gray bodysuit, golden yellow utility belt, incorporate yellow oval. I do love seeing the oval, man. I agree with you. No Man's Land, that suit is basically just the same suit with no trunks, and it's also dark. I've seen it 1,000 times. It's fine, but it's just darker.
I missed the blue too. It's nice that kind of got to play for a minute in a couple issues of Tamaki's Detective.
Yes. Oh my God. Especially with Dan Mora doing it.
Yeah.
Whew. Awesome.
I was almost upset when he went back to the old. I'm like, no, let him wear blue and Detective and black and Batman. That's not so hard. He has different clothes for different days.
I kind of thought he was going to do that. And I was very sad that he didn't.
Help differentiate the series, man.
Exactly. Mitchell, Batman Gotham by Gaslight Victorian suit, and Soviet Russian version and Red Sun are, for me, both suits in their respective historical reimaginings.
Very solid.
I completely agree, man. Gotham by Gaslight, it's one of those things that like it never quite left. Like
no, almost instantly iconic. Whenever we need to do a shot of the multiverse, whenever we need to like reference something in another world, some, you know, chicanery there, boom, Gotham by Gaslight suit.
Yep. The Gotham by Gaslight suit is just one of those things where, everyone loves it to the point where they made a video game.
That's
or at least they were working on a video game of Gotham by Gaslight. If you haven't already seen it, you should pull up some footage.
Shit's wild.
Of the cape mechanics are just gorgeous.
I'm a sucker for steampunkery too. So I mean, you put any character in a steampunk Victorian context, and I'm like, oh yeah, it's like he's wearing a duster coat, but it's also a cape.
Yeah. Now remember the design of Gotham by Gaslight, where you can see his eyes, the coats or the cowl's made of leather. He's wearing this kind of like, he's got the duster angle where it's like there's a top layer
part and a bottom
like
layer.
A coat. Because you'll see it again. Because like, okay, so it starts off with Gotham by Gaslight. Then you check out something like Batman Houdini, and you tell me what the difference is. It's basically just the bat suit with a coat.
Yeah.
It's got gloves. It's the same damn thing. For all intents and purposes, it's just the same thing. And it's
if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
And that's the thing. They're like, well, it's turn of the century. Like, we're doing the same thing. We just didn't want to make it technically in the same continuity as the Gaslight universe, which, of course, there are 2 of those stories. I think they incorporated both of them into the terrible movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a couple of like those versions where I'm like, I've seen that before. What was it? There's also another one. Oh yeah, no, that's
speaking of Batman in coats. Taylor's Batman, the detective. Hey, he's got goggles and a coat now.
Oh my god, yes. And is that even in continuity? I would say
by the time the story's done, I certainly don't think it is.
There's no way, right? Like, I remember when he was saying like how excited he was to write Batman in continuity, and then like the more you read it, the more you're like, there's no friggin' way.
There's no friggin' way this is in continuity.
And again, like he's older, he's like bigger, and you see the incorporation of the coat that is also a cape.
Yep.
Yeah, great suit. I look forward to seeing other people do it besides Kubert, but Kubert's the master. I love seeing this suit, especially, and just reading this book and seeing this suit. I'm like, yes.
There is a story reason too for why he changed to that. It's just kind of a hilarious reason. Oh, I'm going to London and it's cold and rainy, so you know.
Yeah, and it's gonna be foggy. I'm gonna need these goggles,
I'm gonna need to
which I don't really wear. I just gotta keep them on my forehead.
Man, Taylor wrote probably some of my favorite stories this year. Batman the Detective was not one of them.
Oh, I really liked that one. I really like Batman the Detective. I wish it was over.
Well, we finally got because when it's called Batman the Detective, I assumed we'd be getting a mystery.
Oh yeah, there's no it's
no
so lame.
Not at all. I called it right away when we actually got to the villain's motivation. I'm like, seriously, come on, come on. By the way, it does make good use of Descartes, though.
Agreed. Yeah, for the first time in years.
Yeah,
Batman Red Sun. Yes. Superman Red Sun. Batsuit. Batman cough.
Mastery of small change there. What if his cowl was also one of them Russian hats? And what if he had more like, paramilitary shit going on?
I remember them I feel like I remember there being a discussion where they were like, is the hat silly? And I say no.
No, I agree. So some things ride the line between being silly and being awesome. I think this one is right on the line.
Agreed. It's right on the line and makes it totally dope. There is a beautiful statue of this suit, and I see it at like a collectibles store quite often, and I'm like, it's so expensive. And I don't really like I like Superman Red Sun, but like Batman Cough is not a hero. He's not somebody I want to friggin' emulate or
no, he's a real son of a bitch.
Yeah. So I like it, but I also like, do I need it? It's also like huge. Alden Tolbert, the animated series 90s Batman is favorite because my first one, which keep the old yellow. I wish they keep the old yellow and black symbol for 97 and JLI.
Hard to beat.
Man. I agree. Yeah, the animated series is one of those things. It's a great distillation of this of the character of the suit. Incorporates blue, but manages to be black anyway.
Practically perfect.
Yeah. Bruce Timm needs to keep like overdoing it.
And we're going to be getting another suit too for this Batman Gotham Cape Crusader thing. where it looks more like the Golden Age one, where he's got kind of like the floppy ears and everything going on. They're going back even further in time in their neo-noir Art Deco 30s.
Yeah, I can't wait to see if that actually is able to be pulled off, or if it's just like, we've indulged Bruce Timm enough.
I guess we'll see. Like, I'm very excited for it because I love Batman, and it's been a long time since a Batman show. But also at the same time, I'm like, oh, this feels really indulgent.
Oh yeah, no, it completely. Totally.
Where they even say in interviews, "Oh, we're getting to do the stuff we never got to do on Batman the Animated." It's like, didn't you used to say the show was better because you had limitations, and you had to be smarter and more artistic?
Yeah,
and
well,
everything?
I said that when I was younger, when I wasn't in charge of everything, and people used to like argue with me. But now that everyone just agrees with me, I have a whole new lease on life and a whole new bunch of ideas.
They also mentioned the thing that him and James Tucker have wanted to do a black and white episode forever and a day, and they never let them. Like, they're gonna let you do it on this, aren't they? That's gonna be an episode.
Yeah, and like, is that good? I mean, they did that sepia tone little short for the 75th anniversary, and it's great, but that you did it then. But
didn't you already do it? No, not the way I wanted to.
Not the way I wanted to. Sure.
But then again, I guess I'm not an artist, so maybe I will never understand those little brain goblins that exist.
Yeah. The worst is like, well, it's such a collaborative medium. You can't. It's not just drawing what you want to see. It's convincing all these different people and animators and producers and like marketing executives to like go along with your vision and then get it out there and then hope that the audience is there that responds to the damn thing.
Also, I think James Tucker got to do his art thing when he got to draw Dick Sprang for that Legends of the Dark Knight episode. That was what he wanted to do. It was pretty fucking good, wasn't it?
That was a lot of fun. Jack Ingram says, what about Thrill Killer and its thigh-high boost?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, it's something else.
I haven't thought of Thrill Killers in years, but I'm like, man, that bright yellow belt logo combo, man, that's pretty striking.
The whole damn universe is so striking and fun. I love the look of the whole universe, and Batman is no exception, though I find that like both the creators and I seem to prefer Batgirl and Robin in this series than Batman. But yeah, and let's see. Can we actually... Okay, so going down my original list, I also have this one that I always loved seeing, and if you ever get a copy of this book, I highly recommend you touch it because it's like it's printed on a really amazing texture. Ooh. But Batman, the Blue, the Gray, and the Bat. Ooh. Batman is basically a Secret Service agent for Lincoln.
Nice.
And he's a cowboy. This is the coolest it will look. Unfortunately, the rest of the book, he looks it's a lot, right? Because he's a cowboy, he's wearing a lot of leather, he has to wear a lot of accoutrement because he's gun toting, he's whip wielding, he has to ride a horse, he's got a lot of crap on him, and when he's just walking around he looks encumbered. But
no doubt.
But this suit is pretty friggin' fun, and it's you could tell the people at DC when they got this idea / execution, they were like, this is what Elseworlds all about.
Print it.
This is what we're all about. And
I personally love that the design extends to the horse, that he's got the black and yellow, and that the saddle is fringed to look like bat wings and everything. That's pretty. I think the horse is better dressed than Batman.
I think you're absolutely right. Well, because the horse is the Batmobile.
Yeah. No, bad horse.
So dope. Yeah, but the Blue, the Gray, and the Bat, so ridiculous. And of course, it's drawn by Jose Luis Garcia Lopez, who's responsible for the look of Batman that everyone remembers and enjoys. So
you had me at Batman plus cowboy.
Right, exactly.
Now, where are his bat chaps, though, and his bat hat? I guess he can't wear a bat hat because, the ears, that just wouldn't look right.
Yeah, I think he does have chaps, bat chaps, if you will. But there's this other book that nobody reads that I'm this is neat. Let's talk about this book. It's called Batman, the Book of the Dead. It's a 2-parter from mentioned Barry Kitson. Look at this thing.
Sounds familiar. Oh, yeah. He's all Egyptian-y.
Yeah. What the crap? It's like if Batman were a horseman of apocalypse.
I was going to say he looks a little Black Pantherish, actually, when you take all the stuff away and it's just the the facial feature mask there. I'm like, oh, what a cool Black Panther.
Yeah, it's pretty neat. It's a pretty neat design.
That's different.
It's ancient Egyptian plus modern, or what 1996 is modern thought.
Yeah,
the future
yeah.
would look like.
Hey, when we're done Dark Knights of Steel, let's do Dark Knights of Egypt.
Seriously, do
They
that.
can fight the mummies alive.
Right. I don't know who owns that at this point. I'd like to find out. But
Tell me about it.
Dude.
Can I buy it? I will give you $5 whole.
Oh, that's not fair.
I know. Nothing that happened to the mummies alive are fair, even though they were super cool. They had good action figures and a kick-ass theme song.
Listen, at least they got figures. You know what I mean?
At least.
It's another one. This is actually the cover sake for the book, or for this episode, which is the Brotherhood of the Bat, where they just go like, okay, like Ra's al Ghul basically takes over, and he's like, I got a whole bunch. I run the Bat thing now. I need a whole bunch of Batmen. Here they all are. It's what like inspired me to do this in the first place. Just all these different Bat designs, all kind of like filling up the space at the same time.
Oh yeah,
you could see they were all basically. I would argue that these are a collection of suit ideas that they had when they were building towards the Nightfall era, where they were like, this is what Batman's going to look like. And they went through a bunch of different designs. You could tell that like the Troika suit is in the top right-hand corner.
Yes, it is. Holy shit.
Yeah, a lot of them liked the idea of the cowl of the cape incorporating into the logo, which I think is interesting.
Very much. A lot of bold, creative swings with the eyes. We got yellow eyes. We got red eyes. We got blue with the yellow symbol. We got more black symbols. We got one where it's got almost like a Power Ranger shield thing he's got going on. It's like a bat smock, a bat poncho. I don't know what you would call that.
Yeah, I don't know, but I love it because it's clearly just a artist like concept art gallery
very
shoved into an actual comic book.
Now let me ask you this, Sal. How do most of these Batman walk through doors? Because seriously, the cape spikes are out of goddamn control.
They can't, right? They have to, well, especially the one in the back and the one in the foreground.
They gotta crash through the windows.
They have to take skylights and windows, or they have to walk sideways. Everyone's got shoulder spikes because Kelly Jones reigned supreme. The only one that doesn't, well, actually there's guy in the back which looks a little bit more like the Earth One suit or the Batman Incorporated suit. In any case, ridiculous, and just swinging for the fences. You could tell for some of these guys they were like, no, like Elseworlds is about coming up with bat suits
and going nuts.
Yeah, there's a book called Dark Allegiances from Howard Chaykin, and
little Frank Millery.
Yeah, and interesting because they don't continue the color scheme. Top
no
gray, bottom black. It's like they want him to look like a floating torso.
Yeah. You know what I also see in this? I see a lot of Wildcat in this act. If he was just black all the way through, he'd just be Wildcat.
Yeah, that has a lot to do with the artist. But yes, this is just Wildcat. Yeah, it's just one of those things where it's like, oh, okay. If you were doing a big scene like that one in Dark Knight's Metal when all the Batmen show up, you could throw him in the background. He's not writing anything. He's not blowing some skirts up at any point here. There's a book where Batman is Dr. Frankenstein, and it's called Castle of the Bat. He uses a Frankenstein monster and bat to make this dude. It's
Wolfman.
It's just a Bat Wolfman. That's it.
I don't hate it.
Yeah, it's just it's a big coat. He's got a bat head.
Yeah, I'm a sucker for hammer horror. It wouldn't be the first or last time Batman crossed paths with werewolves. I mean, that's one of the worst episodes of Batman the Animated Series, him versus a werewolf.
You're damn right it is. Oh, that's funny. There's another one from, oh God, okay. So apropos of like weird episodes of the Batman Animated Series, you talk about that Wolfman episode. I'm thinking of the Tiger episode from the book. Batman Dark Joker, where Batman is basically just a Batman.
Oh yeah. Oh, how very what is it? Midsummer's Night Dream. I could see him hanging out with Puck and the others.
Absolutely. He's got a beard, so he's more demonic.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
I don't hate it either. That's not a bad design either. If they ever redesign Man Bat, maybe make him more man than bat.
That'd be fun. If they did that, then you'd have the whole like, is Batman actually like a mythic beast that's killing people, or is it like Batman being framed? That kind of thing. You could really do a whole like mistaken identity thing.
Yeah, it'd be a good bit of obfuscation there. It's like, all right, Kirk, I need you to go fly around the city for me right quick. Why? Because I need to, mess with people.
Right, because I'm in Istanbul fighting Ra's al Ghul. That's why.
Yeah. All right.
There's another one, Dark Knight Dynasty, for people who are excited about medieval Batmen and other assorted chicanery. How about this?
Huh. That's very early Dungeons and Dragons art, is what that is.
Yeah.
He's a paladin of the bat. Don't make him do his searing smite.
Yeah, I love it. Like, the belt is a crest that he wears that's like protecting him. He's got the logo. The logo's very interpretive. You'd
very
almost
Assassin's
mistake it for something
Creed,
else.
Ottoman Empire type
Totally.
thing.
Assassin's Creed Batman. Look at that. It's also got like this kind of like the full cowl is made of metal.
The more I look at it, the more I like it. And he's got a sword.
He's got a sword too. Yeah. Just Batman's suit or design, his silhouette lends itself to like a myriad of interpretations.
Oh, you can reimagine it in a billion ways, and they have.
Exactly. New Type JB Lee says, this might sound cheesy, but I have a soft spot for Adam West's costume and the Brave and the Bold cartoon costume. Campy Batman should get more love. I would argue that Brave and the Bold suit isn't campy at all. That's just what he looks like. That's a bat suit.
That's what he looked like for decades.
Exactly. I think a lot of people thought that like that was Batman for the longest time.
It's a pretty solid translation. And the Adam West suit also gets a lot of love too when they adapt it into comic form and everything. People love drawing that suit and all the little eccentricities and the nose thing and the line work and everything. People love drawing it and making it look good.
Yeah. I never really liked the Adam West suit, but I was a big fan of the Burt Ward Robin suit.
It's again, that's just what Robin looks like.
And I think that's why. Getting back to the Mignola influence and the Gotham by Gaslight stuff, we just covered this book actually over on our Halloween episode of Back Issues.
Nice.
The Doom That Came to Gotham.
Ooh, I love that. What do they call that? That old timey.
I don't know, but like the leather thing where it folds over.
It's like a Union suit. Like, what the hell is that? I've always loved that when people draw that, and I don't know what it is.
Yeah, I don't either. It's like the Rocketeer has it too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love this suit. It does a nice enough job differentiating itself from the Gotham by Gaslight suit, especially when you see it in the book. There's moments that are just really well designed and depicted where it's like it is leather and it folds like leather, and it's like, yeah, it's really cool.
And he's got a gun.
Because he's not an idiot. No, I'm kidding. In this book in particular, like, he doesn't use guns because his parents were brutally stabbed to death.
Oh, well,
so
that
he
helps.
hates knives. No.
Gonna have knife crime.
Yeah, there's one called the Dark Knight of the Round Table. Again, hey, Tom Taylor, are you taking notes? Because here's a suit for you.
Hot damn. That is more He-Man than King Arthur is what that is.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Just going for it.
Over-designed be thy name.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just that it's flashy. I think that somebody went, I think Dick Giordano just went for like knight.
Yeah.
You know, like they wear steel armor, but he needs a cape too. And he's got to have the cowl. How does that work in this reality?
I guess it's his helmet.
Here's his sword, and it has a bat on it.
Of course, yeah, again.
Oh, my God. Yeah, this is where it was like, well, I guess I'm not going to read every Elseworlds book.
When I see this, I cannot help but start humming the theme to King Arthur and the Knights of Justice.
Totally. Yeah.
I imagine that would be a sick action figure, though, with lots of accessories.
That's a figure. That is
a toy.
Yes, that is a toy, or at least it should be. And if it isn't, that is a shame. I would argue I've seen most Batman toys. That one I've never seen. I'm afraid that's probably true. What was it? Monday Zen Batman Shanghai is one of, if not definitively, but definitely not my favorite bat suit. However, probably my favorite reimagining of the entire Batverse from Selina and Bane.
Oh yeah, I remember this little animated short that was this an official DC thing or was this a fan project?
I don't remember. I think it was officially DC because I remember seeing it on the app. But
well, there you go then.
Yeah, I'm not wild about any of this in terms of something I want as like a statue or a figure or on my wall, but this short was fire. And I loved everything about it, and I would watch it like once a year, if not more.
I appreciate the go for broke attempt at reimagining there, and the cultural influence. He's got the yin and yang on the belt.
Yeah, like this is your Batman someone's Batman.
Yeah,
and I
absolutely.
really dig that. Like, good on you, man.
Likewise, what is it? Batman Gotham Knight, that thing they did to kind of try and
Yes.
tie into
the movie and
to Dark Knight. Again, it's a more anime-esque take on Batman. They got a bunch of different studios doing little shorts and everything. Technically not comics because it was a movie, but there were some interesting ideas in there.
Agreed. Lucha Dandy, even though I was disappointed with the latest book, I very much like the Earth One suit. Yeah, I also dig the Earth One suit. I like it, though it is very much just the book, like the suit. And I know that, like, I think Tiffany doesn't like the emblem, but I like it. I like how it is a flashlight.
Yeah,
and I like that I like it. I like this suit. There's enough differences to make it its own thing, but not enough so that it's so wildly different that you're not immediately on board.
A certain je ne sais quoi, as the French say.
Agreed. Like, I like the implement of the emblem, like, and how the shape is different. I like to keep the yellow. It's pretty cool.
Feels like something they could do in live action, and maybe they will if they keep making Robert Pattinson movies.
Well, and if, like, Jeff Johns is, like, still around and is still influential. There's another book that I've never read, but I've looked at it, and I think we have it on our shelf. It's called The Golden Streets of Gotham. This is another one of those, like, influenced by Gotham by Gaslight, but then goes in another direction.
Oh shit, he's like an old-timey, like, circus performer, like an even more old, like, vaudeville play guy.
Yeah, this guy could just take his mask off and then just be like, I'm a ringmaster, I'm a magician.
Yeah, pretty much. I feel like he's gonna put on a show.
Yeah, but the cold, faceless, like, that expressionless face on top of what is essentially a cat head.
Yeah,
so creepy.
This is a Scooby-Doo villain is what this is. He's gonna be unmasked, and it's old Mr. McCudgeon trying to get the gold doubloons under the old theater.
I dig this. I don't know why. I like that it exists. I don't want to look at it very often, but I like it.
It's growing on me. You're right. Let's get a weird backup story with this Batman.
Right? Show me this weirdo Batman.
Yeah, the fuck is his... Yeah, I want to go read Streets of Gold. What the hell is this about?
Right? Oh, there's a book with Jim Balent on art called Catwoman, Guardian of Gotham.
Yes, I remember that one.
Oh, really?
Yes, Batman's the bad guy in that.
Batman's the bad guy. Selina is the Batman of that universe, but as Catwoman.
Yeah, and he's like super over designed. Yeah,
my god, he's got like just everything has spikes.
Yes, his batarang is a knife that he uses to fight. Like, I think they're married in the story, but he's like a shitty husband. I remember reading this forever ago.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Catwoman's design is ridiculous. Batman's design is ridiculous. But I can imagine as a kid, this is Spawn. This is just influenced 100%. By Spawn. He's got spikes on his knuckles. His ears are also batarangs
that are also spiked.
And of course, his eyes are red.
I would call this gloriously over designed.
Yes, like Balent is having a blast.
This is excess at its finest.
Yes, this is just what. And just in case you weren't sure, in case you were like, well, yeah, that's Batman, but like, what about Catwoman? Well, let me just scroll down a little
Oh, she's
further,
pretty special. Oh my god.
I mean, like, and is it as gaudy and ostentatious as the Halle Berry suit? I don't know. I think the jury's out.
How does she move? How does her spine not break?
Right? Well, and she must be just dying inside. Like, it's just her organs are just being squished into her chest.
Catwoman is kind of funny too, because like no one can ever seem to agree what colors go with her. Oh, it's a black cat suit, but sometimes it's purple though too.
Right? Yeah, and the purple works sometimes, but not other times.
Yeah,
like yeah,
like everything with Catwoman, she's a little up in the air. It can be whatever. What nationality is Selina Kyle? Whatever we want it to be.
Who cares? Like, anything.
We'll figure it out.
This is a universe that like Grant Morrison reminded people existed, which of course was the Stan Lee Just Imagine.
Oh yes, another Batman.
Yep, another one that went literal with it. Batman. What if Batman were a Batman?
He's looking quite Fausty in this one too.
Yeah. Well, it's Joe Kubert drawing it, which is awesome.
Yeah,
I think it's a mask. I don't remember though. It's pretty dope. I like this a lot because it's it's going for something, and it's like leaning into it. Again, it had some time to really like see other iterations of Batman in his suits and just go like, all right, well, I don't want to just do Man-Bat again, because it's like Man-Bat doesn't look like a bat necessarily. That's a bat head on a man's body.
They cranked the gothiness up all the way.
Yes. Actually, apropos of that, you should go to check out The Doom That Came to Gotham. Spoilers for the ending, but like you might see another Man-Bat Batman. But yeah, this is just fun, and seeing him like shoulder to shoulder with characters like the Superman of that universe, and being like, yeah, I'm part of the Justice League. I'm just a hideous freak. It's pretty kind of fun.
We take all comers here.
Yeah. Oh God, let me get some information about this one.
Which I guess in its way is a very Stanley-ish idea. It's like, yeah, well, it takes all people to save the world, man. From your Superman to your hideous bat freaks. Yeah. We're all in it together here.
In 98, there's a book called Batman Two Faces, which is basically just kind of like a Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde kind of story. This Batman has ribbons.
Oh yeah, holy shit.
Or scarves. It's a scarf.
Oh yeah, I see it now.
Yeah.
That's something.
Like, and I like the kind of, I like that they went for, it's like they added it after the fact. They're like, let's put some buttons on those gloves. I don't know. It's fine. But again, it's a little too similar. The scarf idea, I'm like, there's no way Batman wouldn't be just like, yoink. They would just grab the scarf.
Yeah.
It's like, you got the cape. You don't need the scarf too.
Like it feels like if you're gonna go scarf, then you should lose the cape, and it should just be like the spirit in his scarf.
Yes. Oh, I kind of like that idea. Yeah.
How's no one done that yet?
I don't know. If you want to see it like kind of stationary, just to see the two opposing forces going in opposite directions, there you go. And it's still
that's too busy.
Yeah, it's still not going. It's still not working for me. Still not thrilled with Batman Two Faces. No. What was it? There's also a book called Scar of the Bat. It's another Elseworlds reality. Scar of the Bat is another one of those stories where they're like, what if we just threw away the cape and just made it a friggin' coat? There you go.
Oh, yeah. Wow. That's a real 1920s private detective coat he's wearing.
Yes. Now, he does have like the little gloves. He has like, you can see his eyes, but it's, yeah.
He's fighting with a bat, which is funny in its own right.
Of course. It's fine. There's nothing really, this is basically the detective.
Yeah. It really, really is.
All right. There's another one called Reign of Terror. This one goes like, what if Gotham by Gaslight just didn't go far enough? This one is set during the French Revolution, with Bruce Wayne as a French nobleman who becomes a mass crime fighter carrying convicted innocents out of France.
Oh, so he's like the Scarlet Pimpernel.
It's the Bat Pimpernel.
Oh, holy shit. Oh, and he's got like Da Vinci's flying machine and everything, which in and of itself is supposedly like an inspiration for the Bat logo. Right? And they're like, oh, I like that flying machine. You should have something like that.
Yeah.
I respect all the historical and literary references that are going into this.
Right? Yeah, I respect what you're going for. I don't think I'm going to be revisiting this anytime soon.
Again, very Assassin's Creed, holy shit, because when they got to redesign their guide, that's usually the well they go. It's just like, what was art at the time looking like? Or were some famous paintings and shit?
Right, exactly. Tevia says, any opinion of Earth 2 Thomas Wayne's Batsuit? Yeah, I mean, it's I like it. I like it a lot, actually.
More red, more ammo.
It uses the red. It goes for broke. It keeps it trim while also doing something different.
He's clearly older, and he's drugged up too because he's got to take Miraclo.
Miraclo, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
See, when he said Thomas Wayne, my mind instantly went to Flashpoint Thomas Wayne Batman.
Of course,
I forgot that there's two actually.
Yeah, there's two Thomas Wayne Batman. One died in Convergence. Remember that, and the other one is still mucking about in the Infinite Frontier as Justice Incarnate.
Not only mucking around, but arguably more prominent now than ever, as he just got to join, Justice League Incarnate. How come they never got a book? Well, they didn't have a Batman, but now they do.
Yeah, but now they do. You see,
and now they get a book.
Now they get a book. You see, you don't get a book without a Batman. We're DC. We don't publish books without Batman. Apropos, Thomas Wayne, again, I like it. I like the logo. I loved that it was in another reality.
Yeah.
He's got the leg straps too.
Yeah, wow, on both legs.
Oh, because he's got 2 guns.
Because he stays strapped, this Batman.
He is strapped.
And he's got the shoulder spikes, but they're not too over the top.
Right, yeah, really subdued. Well, it is Fabok.
And a red circle instead of a yellow circle.
Good use of circle.
Very.
And owning it, where it's like, okay, if it's Earth 2, like if it's Thomas Wayne as Batman, he has red.
And I'm sure it's a tactical thing too, much like the Punisher, like, no, shoot me here.
Exactly.
I got the armor here. Don't shoot me in the head. Shoot me here.
Right. There's one, again, this is another one of those, like, this is just the bat suit again, but it's like Batman of Arkham. It's just like, it's another Elseworlds book, but you can see it's just basically the 30s Batman.
Very.
Just kind of like more cloth.
Yeah, it's always got a place.
More like the old 30s serials.
Yeah.
Which I think is kind of neat. There's Batman Nosferatu, which you think is a lot like Batman Vampire, but no, not at all, because it is very artistically interpreted. This one's very Fritz Lang. It's drawn by Jean-Marc Lafayette or Lafayette. No, I'm sorry. It's drawn by Jesus. I have no idea who drew this damn thing. It's insane, but it's crazy. Just to give you an idea about what this book looks like, here is, I don't know, a page with some art on it of this book, Batman Nosferatu.
Oh, wow. This is really avant-garde, isn't it?
Yes. Now, when you see the suit, you'll be like, okay, how are you going to make an action figure out of this? You basically won't. And here we go.
Oh, now that is some impossible,
anatomy.
Yeah, that's some sleep demon shit.
Yeah, the emblem is a necklace he wears.
Huh, that's an interesting idea.
Yeah, but no thanks.
Huh, yeah, that's wonderfully expressionistic and fucked up.
Yeah, very Slenderman-y.
Oh, yeah, tell me about it. Yeah, wow.
Right? You know how far those ears go.
Wow. I thought I had seen the biggest ears, but I was wrong.
Yeah, but then move over because Batman Nosferatu is here to creep out your nightmares.
I mean, hey, if he wants to strike fear into the hearts of criminals, it's a pretty goddamn good way to do it.
Damn right. This is a book we actually did on back issues back in the day. What if Bruce Wayne became a Green Lantern, but he still didn't get over his parents, so he had to Batman it up in Darkest Night.
Yeah,
Batman Green Lantern put together.
No ears,
but they're kind of like implied, like this. Like there's kind of like this like
the mask goes up.
The mask goes up. Yeah, I dig it.
Yeah, it's an interesting concept.
It's neat. It's something I'd like to see more of in the future.
I'm surprised it's not unlockable for more of the video games.
It's weird that it isn't. It's weird I can get Sinestro Batman, but not this one.
Yeah, seems like it would be a no-brainer for most video games.
Yeah, it does. There's not much more I could say about that besides like, no, it's kind of cool.
Yeah.
This is one of the suits that I saw for the first time. I was like, oh, like I love this as a kid. And it's from Holy Terror. Had everything to do with the fact that Norm Brayfogle drew it.
Yeah.
Batman is part of a theocracy of Gotham. Look at that.
Boy, they really redesigned that logo, didn't they?
His belt is a church.
Holy shit.
His logo has extra bat wings on it.
Wow, this is extra.
Yeah, this is like one of those things where, it's a story that doesn't matter, so the artist just draws whatever they want, but it does actually thematically fit into the story. It's ridiculous. If anyone else were drawing it, I'd hate it. Because it's just a Batman suit with a bunch of stuff on it. Or with a bunch of, like, I don't know, crap added to the logo, but I do love that plunging logo. I love the emblem is all like goes all the way to his belly button.
There is something about it. I can't stop looking at it.
Right? You know what it is though? It's the Batman Beyond influence. That's the pre-Batman Beyond, by the way.
True enough.
But yeah, like that's where it was like, oh, if we just got rid of all that crap on the sides, we'd have something here. But yeah, Batman Holy Terror. Before Frank Miller's Holy Terror.
Before the other Holy Terror.
Yeah, I remember them talking about them doing that, and I'm like, what? They did Holy Terror.
That's already a book.
Yeah. You talk about like Gotham by Gaslight or Gotham, like, with or Batman with basically you've seen what you'd think is like Batman noir.
Mm-hmm.
Until you read Batman Gotham Noir.
Oh,
this is the suit.
Oh wow,
he's just
all
black.
shadow.
He's just he's a wraith,
a living silhouette.
Yes,
there's definitely something to that, artistically speaking.
I love it. It's a Gordon book, but like,
of course,
Batman is just like, he is a shadow.
I like that. This is what Batman looks like through the eyes of Gordon.
Yes, this is how like everyone sees Batman, as like a ghost.
That's a clever concept.
Whenever he's drawn like that. I was like, this is neat idea. Is that a suit? I guess you could stick him in the background some way or something.
Is he even human? I don't know.
Yeah. Well, the speech bubbles suggest that he is not.
Oh.
Lewis Cox, hey Sal and Cape Joel, I do like the Gotham by Gaslight bat suit, and I also do like the Dark Knight Returns Batman armor.
Oh, yes.
Dude, the Batman, the Dark Knight Returns armor.
So influential.
Yes, as a kid, I loved it, although I kind of wished, because of the like influence of like all these books, I kind of wanted it to be sleeker. But
then again, that's just Miller's style, isn't it? Bulky and unwieldy and top heavy.
Yeah, and that's the thing, is like it works so well. I mean, there's so much about the Dark Knight Returns looks that I'm like, that informs everything, from Miller's redesign of Batman, like the return of the like emblemless chest logo, to his tactical utility belt, the shorter ears influence that like clearly influenced Jim Lee in a big bad way.
Oh yeah.
Like, Miller defined Batman. The bat suit, for the Batflex suit, is just Miller's suit.
Yes,
I mean, people
100%.
talk about how it's Jim Lee's suit. It's like, Jim Lee's suit is just Miller's suit, but younger.
The fact that they got Affleck to basically go on the Frank Miller workouts, like, yeah, make yourself look like a shaved gorilla, but in real life. Just be big and top heavy and just all chest all the time.
Exactly. I love that. Make yourself look like a shaved gorilla. What was it? Oh, and by the way, just as a quick aside, here is the armor suit. It's not a really great look at it, but it is also like bright colored. You can see it, like, you can see like there's like padding, but it's like soft, and there's cloth and the belt and all this stuff. He's just covered in stuff. Neat. I love it.
Very.
Yeah. But every time I see it in action figure, I'm like, nah.
Because it's hard to capture.
Yeah. Superman just joined. Any thoughts on Stan Lee or Dark Claw? Someone more ridiculous than Azrael's suit. Also, I remember when his cape was an actual bat wing. Yep. Dark Claw is not a bat suit. It doesn't really belong to them, but
it belongs to both of them and neither of them.
Yeah, but you know what? I'm going to allow it because the reality is it's just Wolverine as Batman. Like, that's the idea. But
I like Wolverine and I like Batman, so
it's pretty goddamn dope. I'm not going to argue with you. It's pretty dope looking. That's another one that Jim Balent helped redefine, but like, we've seen a lot of other people draw it and to greater effect. But yeah.
Yep.
Whew.
That's something.
I mean, again, like we saw in one of the iterations where, like, I think it was another. Oh my God, it's Jim Balent again. It was that friggin' Catwoman, the hero book, where his ears, his ears have like the spikes. Well, his ears have the spikes, and so do the damn claws.
Oh my God. It all comes together. I actually don't mind the yellow on the cowl at all.
Oh, I like that. Well, that's what tells you it's Wolverine. But I like the yellow throughout. Like, it kind of sells it a little better.
It does.
It marries the two looks.
And yet he doesn't look like a bee, which is good too. When you mess around with too much black and yellow, sometimes you'll look like a bee.
Almost immediately, like you look like a bee. And I'll bet if you drew him differently, or you drew him in a different light, he would look like a bee. But he just looks dope.
Yeah.
Here's another look, by the way, that just also says, like, he doesn't look like a bee, but he does look pretty cool.
Indeed.
Right? It's cool. Cool bat look. Also,
Joker,
really,
Sabretooth.
Hyena. Because
yes,
it's a Sabretooth that laughs. Look at that, look at that logo, how like, or that like the cowl, how each side is a bat, like with a bat face.
Very ornate in its design, and we've never seen that anywhere else.
No, usually they just go like, well, if we're gonna draw a Batman with a bat face, we're just gonna draw him as a mutated Batman.
Yeah.
Thanks for reminding us. The super casual pleb. Sup, guys? Glad I catch you guys live. I can catch you guys live. I really like the Taylor, Kubert, and Detective suit, Dark Knight of Steel, and the 2000s The Batman cartoon. Yeah, the Batman cartoon was cool.
Yeah, we got a new one just recently too with Dark Knight of Steel, where he's a knight, but it's a lot more pared down. He looks a lot more like something out of Game of Thrones.
Yes. Yeah, it's almost not like exciting because it's something that just like your mind's eye kind of generates for you. You're like,
yeah,
he's a knight.
yeah.
Like, yeah. But we've seen Batman as a knight on this show, and I think this actually is better.
Yeah, well, also, too, the one in the book is different than the one on the cover, too, when we actually see him going out. I wonder if this is more like a final suit or what the deal.
Yeah, I think so. I think we're going Injustice with that book, so...
Yeah, I mean, if I may, play Dungeons and Dragons guy there, the bat bastard of the Castle of Kal-El that we see in issue 1, he's really more of a Ranger Strider type, but maybe he'll become more of a Knight type later on.
Yeah, I think so.
He's built for speed,
Right, exactly. Cam mentions the Arkham Knight suit, or the Arkham suit. He says, we talked about the Arkham suits. Love the long, prominent ears, that they were able to do a modern Batman that still had trunks. I agree.
That's nice.
Yeah. That's just Batman. Like, that's just what Batman looks like. And they were able to get away with it because it was a comic book, or because it was a video game. Lewis Cox, also the Batman Arkham Asylum bat suits from the video game are awesome. Agreed. I think
he went through a couple too, because there was the one in Arkham Asylum, then Arkham City. It's the one that keeps getting blown up and beaten up by the end. Yes. And then in Arkham City Origins, it's much more armor. Same with Arkham Knight, it's much more armor, high tech.
Yeah. Lewis Cox,
which I liked it less the more high tech it got. I liked it better when it looked more fabric-y.
Yeah, I yeah. Well, video games are really good at like capturing textures, and like that's the fun, right? Like, is that it looks like it's made of fabric. Lewis, the Batman Beyond suit is also cool. Yes, it is. We agree. You should scroll back and we'll talk all about it.
Most def.
What was it? Just catching up with everybody else. Martin Sorensen, what do you think about the Batman versus Predator suit? Thank you. Yeah, I love that suit. I love it, and it's complicated and it's kind of silly, but like I do love that suit. If you're not familiar, ladies and gentlemen, the first time the Batman fought the Predator was one of the best intercompany crossovers of all time, and it's one of the best Predator sequels of all time. And Batman fights a Predator, and he gets the crap knocked out of him until not until he gets the crap knocked out of him, and then he needs to build like a special armor suit, and it is really cool. And it's one of those, like, it was made in the early 80s or late 80s, early 90s. It got to be 92. It's like right around Predator 2. And so it's before Azrael Bat. It's before we saw like all these different in continuity Bat armor suits.
Right.
But here it is.
Oh, wow.
Now this one, I like it because it's unfinished. It's a prototype suit. So like the belt is mechanical in nature, and you could see the gizmos and wires because it's not done. The cape goes right into the emblem on the chest. He's got like this armor. It's like Batman needs you to know he's a human. So he still keeps the mouth open, but hides his eyes.
Yes, which is a very interesting touch.
Well, his eyes are hurt in the book, and so he's relying on like heat sensor. He also knows that his enemy can cloak, so he needs to be able to see like different like spectrums of light. It's really cool.
It's pretty cool. I like it.
It's a pretty dope suit. I have the action figure of this, and it's awesome. Nice. Monday Zen, not sure if it's brought up yet, but Batman Mask Phantom of the Opera suit is a really fun reimagining. So is the Darwin Cook design. Yeah, the Darwin Cook design is just
Darwin Cook. I'm surprised we haven't talked about Darwin Cook yet.
Oh yeah. Well, I don't know. I feel like it's just the bat suit, but it's like more cloth, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Like I do like the look of it being like stuffed into his like pants.
Yeah.
I have the action figure of it, which is pretty fun. And yeah. Let me pull up that Batman mask one.
I think people like the Cook one too from New Frontier because he goes through a couple iterations, and also because the costume is part of the story. Where it's like, I meant to scare criminals, not children.
That's right. I like that a lot. Yeah. Let's see. This one's Mark. From Mike Grell. Nice. Here we go. Okay. Yeah, he just looks like the Phantom of the Opera.
Yeah.
Well, here you be the judge. Thank you for reminding us of this Monday's End.
Oh yeah. where the mask really is a mask and not as so much a cowl.
Right. No, it's it's like it's a mask with a Q. A lot of logo going on.
Oh yeah, like quadruple logo. I'm also not used to seeing Batman's ears.
No, I don't like that. Don't want to see his ears.
That's weird. Yeah, seeing Batman's ears. I don't know about that.
Yeah, I don't know about this. It's fun. I do like it. I'm glad it's here, and I like the like it's like a family crest.
Yeah.
As the emblem. That's pretty cool.
If his ears are out, what's stopping a villain from giving him a wet willy or crawling into his ears?
This is true. Yeah, he'd be powerless against Mr. Mind.
Yeah. Oh my God. How have they not done that story out where Mr. Mind's like, I'm going to get in your... Oh, God damn it, he's wearing a cowl. Shit.
Right. King Sport Cal says, "What's up, Rose? Joel, how's Canada treating you?"
Yeah, not bad.
Will Jack from Red Letter Media ever return? Maybe. We've been working on something. We've been working on something. We've been working on. He's open to it. We just need a topic that we can both talk about.
Right on.
And I don't want to waste his time. I don't want to bug him. I don't want to like message him like 7 times a year, being like, "Dude, what about this?" Like,
he's doing a lot of stuff on The Escapist now, isn't he?
He's very busy with The Escapist now, too. Yeah. I haven't seen him on a Red Letter Media video in a long time. You mofos know you love Dark Claw. Love you guys. ComicPop for life. Thank you very much, man. Yeah. Yeah, I know. I don't like Dark Claw, but I do appreciate him. L Sky 670 Ninja Turtle suit? What?
Did he get a Ninja Turtle suit?
I guess. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yes, thank you. In Batman Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3, there's an alternate. That's the one where it's the multiverse,
right?
And there's like an alternate reality where he like grew up in the Ninja Turtles universe.
Oh,
so he is like designed to be raised by Splinter.
Oh, that's an interesting concept.
And so it's more ninja inspired.
Oh yeah, I see it.
Yeah. It's fine. I never really loved it, but I think it's fun. He grew up in the sewers with Splinter and the turtles.
So it's all made of recycled material is what it is. Exactly. Everything he could scrounge, it's scroungeable Batman. Oh, I like the Bat logo is runny because he probably did it with spray paint.
He did it with spray paint. And this Batman's a little more well-adjused because he had a family the whole time.
Oh. Wouldn't Batman be more Casey Jones in this universe?
No, in this universe, like Bruce had the turtles.
Oh.
The Waynes are killed and he drops the turtles in the sewer.
Oh.
And then he like goes into the sewer with them and then like Splinter raises all of them.
That's a fun concept.
So he grew up with like 4 brothers.
Oh, I like that.
Soup or Man, Morrison Run used some cool suits, fun stuff. Yeah, the Zuranos suit.
Oh, yeah.
We didn't even get into that. But yeah, the Morrison run had a bunch of suits that were really cool. Most of them are just really good interpretations of the original suit, which I do enjoy.
I mean, even Dick's suit, which is just like close to the original, but kind of does its own thing.
It's a little lighter, a little brighter. It's almost like Dick's like, I remember it being more blue.
Yeah, in my mind.
Yeah, like it should be blue.
I mean, heck, if we even want to talk Battle for the Cowl when Jason Todd put on his own crazy Batman suit.
Oh, yeah. The Jason Todd suit is pretty great. Tim Drake has his own suit. Like, they all have a cool variation. But Jason Todd's is the most like, oh, that's actually like an idea. Like Jason's is like, I love Batman. Or Tim's like, I want to be Batman. It's just that I also use a pole in my fighting. But Jason's is a suit.
Yes, like I love guns.
Jason's is a deal like, finally, like he made this like the day after he came back to life.
Yeah, I can do it my way now with red glowing eyes and like some weird like night mouth thing where it's like a great.
Yeah, so it's a lot of look.
It is, as they would say.
But it is a different idea. But that happened in continuity. That's not even like an alternate Bruce Wayne. Ridiculous. But yeah, so from the samplings we used, this is basically every Batman. We mentioned every Batman that like had the Elseworlds logo on it. But there are other alternate reality Batmans that we did get a chance to talk about. Red Sun, for example, and
bunch of
cartoons and stuff. So let us know in the comments which one is your favorite alternate reality Batsuit and why. Like, what makes it so cool for you? And of course, we're going to try and create like a whole aggregate that has every one of those suits over on the community tab of this episode of this channel, ComicPop Returns. If you like this channel, subscribe. That's the best way to help us out. And if you like more, go to youtube.com/ComicPop and subscribe there. And if you want shorts, check out our shorts channel, ComicPop Shorts, and check out our like 20 to 50 second long videos, which are usually deleted scenes and stuff. Yeah, salute your shorts. I should have called it that. But anyway, thanks a lot for hanging out with us. And if you want more, go over to patreon.com/ComicPop, where Joel and I are going to talk for a couple minutes about some other stuff. Disney dropped a bunch of stuff. We'll talk about that later. And we'll see you guys next time with an all-new episode of the Elseworlds Exchange. I'm Sal.
I'm Joel.
So long.
Bye-bye.